In fact, you hear about Aaron Rodgers and Gutekunst. Have you heard about this entire situation with the Packers? It has kind of become a conversation, mostly because when Aaron came on here and told the whole story about what happened, darkness, post-darkness, thoughts about retirement, coming back to play, conversations between the Packers and Aaron Rodgers, the way they were going, how they changed. I mean, that was huge. It was rippling news.
Massive.
Because everybody thought, the way the Packers were going to move on from Aaron would go in a fashion. But the way it was kind of laid out was like, this is seemingly what Aaron was talking about, like had been happening for the last couple of decades to a lot of vets who have given a lot to the Green Bay Packers organization, have done a lot for the Green Bay Packers community, and also appreciate the Green Bay Packers as a whole. And being a Green Bay Packer, it's almost like there's never really been a smooth, communication line. So Aaron said that Gutekunst's line of communication changed completely pre-darkness versus post-darkness.
Right.
Almost as if Gutekunst was thinking to himself, all right, when this guy's fucking Amish,
Change.
let's really think about what we want to do. And let's have no fear of anything that could possibly happen because the person we're thinking about won't know.
Right.
What do you mean they won't know? They're actually in a fucking hole in Oregon with nothing.
Yep.
Nothing.
Not even light.
Not even a phone.
The only time they hear any noise is when there's food coming, 6 p.m. every single day. That's the only thing. So let's really think about this. And allegedly, the way it sounded to me, and I might have been wrong with the way I was taking it, is post-darkness. Before darkness, take your time. Whatever you want to do, we want you back. Post-darkness, nah, we don't want you. And there was no communication, basically, that took place. And Gutekunst came out and said, I tried to reach out to Aaron. It was impossible. We're moving on. Right? Gave his kind of side of it. I think a lot of people that are Packers fans were like, thankful that Gutekunst gave his side of it. Everybody kind of was like, all right, that could have happened.
Right.
And then we just kind of move on.
Whatever.
Because then there was the FaceTime thing that happened. Then Gutekunst answers again. Then Aaron now does an interview with Matt Schneidman, who is the Packers
Beat reporter for The Athletic.
Big deal. Schneidman is big deal in the entire Packers universe. The only reason why we know that is because every time he reports about what happens on Aaron Rodgers Tuesday, it does big numbers. Schneidman has real say. So Aaron chatted with Schneidman, right?
Yeah.
And that article dropped today.
Yeah, this morning.
About the whole situation. Is this going to have any ripple effects in the Green Bay Packers world, or what came out of the interview?
I don't know if it'll have ripple effects. I think it kind of everything played out the way we thought it kind of would. Like we knew that, hey, there's a lot of skeletons in this closet for both these guys. Like they clearly didn't like each other, but Rodgers was still in Green Bay, so they had to make it work. But like the big takeaway was, with all the stuff with Gutekunst saying like, hey, I tried to contact him with him. I couldn't get him on the line, and so we had to make the decision to move the other way from there. And Rodgers basically said like, that's bullshit. Like anyone knows that
Full of shit.
where I live in California, like I have no service on my phone. Kind of what he told us. Like I have no service on my phone. If you want to get in contact with me, like my close people know, hey, you have to FaceTime me. He was like, so he wants to make it sound like I ghosted him. He tried to reach out a bunch. He was like, that's not the case.
This is the life that I live.
Exactly. He said, people know, like, if I like you, we'll talk. And he kind of just said that, like, he's trying to do a version of revisionist history because they were ready to move on, and now he's trying to make it sound like Rodgers was kind of the one who planned this whole thing and kind of forced his way out. And Rodgers basically said, like, you didn't like that we didn't communicate a bunch, that we didn't talk a bunch, because Rodgers did mention in the article, too, he said that after, remember when he kind of went scorched earth right after he came back and signed the contract, he did that like 30-minute press conference and kind of laid out all of his grievances and all the issues he had with everything with the Packers. He said that, he like really challenged the front office, like, hey, I want to change the culture and we need better lines of communication here. And he said Russ Ball, who's the VP of finance, I think, he said, I feel like he's the only one who really took that to heart. Like he actually tried to, he was around more, he was present more, like he was willing to listen to what we were saying. He's like, I don't really feel like the other guys took that to heart at all. So they kind of, the entire time they wanted to move on, and now they're trying to package everything as like, oh, this was me forcing my way out, when in reality, like, they knew all through this season, especially with the Packers not making the playoffs, that their plan was to get him out of there and move on to Jordan Love anyway.
Fascinating, just learn more and more. It's all ugly,
Yeah.
Bad.
I think the reason why it's so important to set the correction right now for both sides is because how the Brett Favre thing ended.
Exactly.
And how the Packers were. Yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
I can say that.
Yeah.
We're good.
How about it?
Yeah.
Are we sure?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah,
good.
no, we're
We're allowed to talk about whatever, too.
Okay.
That whole. Anyways, Now's not the time.
No.
But if anything else,
Right.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
But when the Brett thing left, everybody kind of judged the Pack for how ugly it all was.
For sure.
And fans got pissed off about it.
Yep.
So them trying to be like, no, this guy wanted to leave, keep them babyface is certainly the right thing. And Aaron's like, I feel like I've built up. I got a lot of love for Green Bay. I've done a lot for Green Bay. I'd like to let you know, I didn't fucking just want out of here. It was a interesting thing that happens, I guess, whenever there's a lot of money and a lot of competition and egos and pride and legacies on the table, which is certainly what this is for Gutekunst. In Pack, like, as we look back on this 5 years from now, if Aaron goes on to have success at the Jets and Jordan Love has success, it'll just be like what the Colts and Broncos had. When Andrew Luck and Peyton Manning happened, it was like, yeah, it was probably the right decision for both sides. Now, Peyton's better than he ever fucking was.
Yeah, right.
Threw more touchdowns than he ever played. Had a record and won a Super Bowl and everything like that. If he's on our team, we're probably doing that as well. Certainly not fun. It does suck. But Andrew Luck had success. Yeah. So there's a chance that takes place and we remember this for nothing. But all this drama and petty shit kind of coming out, I don't love it. Don't love it.
And I think Gunther, how you pronounce the shit, just be straight up, bro. We've been listening to the bullshit since the letter that he wrote. That was so weak for a guy that's done so much for an organization. That letter was like, all right, yeah, you know, we've been ready to move away from your ass. Boom, let's go. Yeah. There was no love or nothing in that letter saying that he would have called, had any feelings or anything in there.
How about the Jets flying to Malibu?
Oh, yeah.
To meet with Aaron. And Green Bay obviously did that the year before. Yeah. But when you're talking about moving on from a quarterback you just paid $100-some million, who's won 4 MVPs and everything like that for you, you would think the conversation would happen. But hey, people learn that they got cut on Twitter nowadays.
Right.
Exactly.
It's a whole different world. It's a modern world. We all got to realize it. Good luck to all parties in there. And I can't wait to see what happens in New York and with Jordan Love.